Hey guys, welcome back to K Comics. We'll be continuing our run on the Prey Run Part 2 of 6. In the previous issue, we found out that while Thor was out here for the longest, Donald Blake has been awake all this while in a fake world for who knows how long. This drove him mad as he felt he has been imprisoned, just like Bruce Banner always wanting to take away control from the Hulk, and Donald Blake learning about his origin broke him and drove him crazy. So he's now out for blood. He's here for revenge. So let's get into it. But first, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This picks up with Donald Blake in the Asgardian army, reminiscing about his past life and the hard times he's had to face as Donald Blake, and he remembers about that day he was doing humanitarian work at a village near Nicaragua, and it was at that moment that he experienced the bite of the Paraponera clavata, the bullet ant, which is considered by many as one of the most painful experiences a human can endure. And now that he realizes that he wasn't meant to be and that Odin created him in order to teach Thor a lesson, he views it as Odin creating a toy for his son to play with. And with him being that toy and also having to suffer in the process of that, his anger for Odin grew exponentially, as he thinks it's cruel to create something only to let it suffer, of which I understand. But I'm not sure that's how Odin intended it to be. But then things went sideways and he wasn't around to correct them. So Donald Blake got himself Jambion and went straight to the destroyer looking for how to turn it on, because he's about to destroy everything Odin has touched, which basically will be Asgard for one, and then many other things, because I believe Odin has a very high influence in the cosmos. But then word is out, and so Beta Ray Bill, Lady Sif, and the drunken master Vostag are here to stop a once good doctor, now turned bad doctor. And when Lady Sif told Blake to release the axe, he agreed, but released it straight to her face, and Sif wasn't ready to catch it with her face, but Beta Ray Bill came to her rescue, catching the axe, only then to charge in at Donald with the same axe, only to get wrecked. And all Donald Blake was using here was a scalpel, which for him was enough because he wanted to immobilize Beta Ray Bill, which he did pretty quickly, only to rid him of Odin's enchantment. But he was crazy, so he didn't stop there. He wanted to kill him, but drunken Master Vostag was there to stagger him. And when Donald Blake turned around, all of Asgardian warriors are there to stop him. But then it's not a problem for Donald Blake because somehow he has managed to tap into the Odin force within Thor. And though they have fought Thor, he is no Thor. He's a ruthless and a vicious human being. It's a joke, but you get the point. And also, having Thor's memory isn't helping these warriors because Thor has fought them countless times, so he knows how to beat them, and that's exactly what he did. He laid waste to all of the warriors of Asgard with ease. I don't even see this guy even getting tagged. That's how insane this was. And with all the warriors left in the pool of their own blood, he defeated Lady Sif, the last woman standing, and then took her Bifrost sword, with which he teleported them to Dimension Blood, a hunting ground for the Vampacabra. And with the surviving warriors trapped, Donald Blake has a few friends to visit, so he cleans up so as not to look obviously as crazy people come. Meanwhile, we have Thor, who has also been trapped here in Donald Blake's world, not being aware of what's happening in the land of the living. But then, with Thor wandering out here hoping to see if there's still life here, he stumbled upon a weakened Jormungand who has been beaten to near death, which surprised Thor and wondered what could do this kind of damage to the great Midgard serpent. And pay attention here because this is how it all started for Donald Blake. So when Odin created this space for Donald Blake for when Thor swaps places with him, Odin shielded this place from everyone, including the serpent. But with the Odin force recently passing to Thor, the magic weakened, allowing the serpent to break in, convince Donald Blake that he's just a pawn in Odin's game, and this space he has created for him is not a safe haven, but rather a prison, which would mean that they share the same enemy in Odin. So the serpent offered him part of his power so they could be allies against Odin, and when he took it, he discovered Odin's force within himself. So with both powers coupled with his crazed mind, which couldn't reason well at this point. I mean, having realized your whole life was a lie, there's so much a human can take, but not to this extent. And so with this, his rage was something else. He fought like a man possessed, and that's how the serpent was left close to death with a slit throat. And this is when we see that Donald Blake has made his way to Jane Foster. Who knows what this dude is thinking at this moment? I mean, he used to love Jane Foster, but now I don't really know what's going on in this dude's mind. But then he says he's on a rampage going to kill everyone Odin has touched. So who knows what this next issue will bring. And here we are again. So make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you like content like this. And we'll do it again in the next one. Voila.